How did you get into marketing? How did that happen for you?
Yeah, I love it. So basically, a lot of people out here probably have the same type of you working a job, and maybe it's not the most ideal scenario, like a physical job where you have to clock in, and a lot of circumstances that are out of your control. And that's exactly what it was, man. So we're thinking this is back in like, man, I initially started online around like 2013 when I started actually like dabbling into the online marketing space. But even before that, I've always been curious with computers and stuff like that. So I started off actually working on the beach, like the actual sun and the sand, literally giving people towels and setting up their chairs. So definitely the 180 from the online world. I was actually literally in the burning hot sun, getting burnt every day. But you know what? It was quick money, right? And at the time, it was in Miami Beach, so it's a big tourist thing. So from there, I became a waiter and a server, and it was in a nice hotel, one of the bigger hotels out here. So it was good in that sense, but I didn't realize like the potential of what's possible, right? I just kind of was in my little bubble. I knew that I wasn't happy. I knew that obviously there's more potential to do other things, right? And I was helping people because even though it was just a server, these people were spending tens of thousands of dollars just to take these vacations, these prestigious hotels, right? So like the hotel that I was working at is called the Fountain Blue. It's like one of the biggest hotels in Miami Beach. And people were spending a lot of money. I knew I was helping them. I was impacting people, but and it wasn't fulfilling as being a waiter tends to have that effect, not be too fulfilling. So essentially, I figured, you know what, I can figure out a way to do some stuff online. So what I ended up doing, I turned my skills of being a waiter and I actually created a book. And that was my first actual experience online, believe it or not, in terms of like internet marketing, right? Because I played video games and stuff like that on a computer ever since I was a little kid. But yeah, I published my first book. It was called Fine Dining Advising, and it was all about being a successful waiter, believe it or not. So it covered all the tips, strategies, all this stuff. I was like, you know what, this is gonna be a home run. I'm about to like make it, guys. Let's just say it wasn't really a big smash hit. People were, running through the droves to learn how to make more waiter tips. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, I published a whole blog. I did a whole thing around it, and that was my first taste. My first taste of like getting in there, getting my hands, literally rolling up my sleeves and like learning about internet marketing and all the vast aspects that are involved with that, right? As we know, and we'll probably get into, it's just so many different things, right? Internet marketing, right? It sounds so lovely, but little do they know there's so many subtopics and sub niches and sub skills that are critical to the entire operation, right? Like it's not just internet marketing. Like it's a lot more it's a lot more that goes into it. So that's the initial beginning, man. And then of course it major transitions from there. But that's initially how it started, man. Started a blog and published a book and created a website all about servers and waiters.
Now, Frankie, you didn't get rich from doing that, but did you make any money from selling that book at all?
Yeah, well, you know what, man, and this is what I tell people all the time, and this is why, like, even though it was not a success, right? It was not a success. I definitely wasn't able to quit my job with that at all. But believe it or not, at the time of this recording, this is like I don't even know. This is years like 2013, almost a decade now. Wow. I'm still getting paychecks from that, believe it or not. Now it's not a lot. It's definitely dropped significantly, but I haven't touched that in like years, literally like maybe like 5 years. So the fact that that's still sending some type of residuals, whether it's even if it's just a couple $100 or whatever, it's still pretty interesting. But yeah, it was not a success. The story does not end there. There was so much more to go, so much struggle that happened. But
Wow.
yeah, crazy.
But that's how you got started. You got started by taking, I guess, you were a waiter, right, at the beach. Is that what you were doing?
Literally, man, literally on the beach, running in the sand, getting burnt, like literally coming home and like I look like I don't even know, man, just burnt like everywhere and that farmer's tan, covered in sand. That was my day to day struggle, man, every single day. Now, granted, I was like 17 years old, 18 years old. So, I mean, I was making some good money for a 17-year-old, right? Like over $1,000 a week just doing that kind of stuff. So it wasn't bad per se for a 17-year-old. But dude, like the toll that I was taking on my body, and I knew long term, I'm like, this is temporary. This is temporary for sure. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I was literally on the beach serving rich people, like, you know, these wealthy people, giving them all like the drinks and everything they want. And here we are now, on the other side.
Let's talk about that other side real quick for a minute, because a lot of people, they may not know who you are, right? So tell us about how, from that beginning, right? What did it transition to today? Like, who are you today because you took action and you started getting into the online world?
We've transitioned from that to have over a dozen employees. We run a marketing agency, which is hence why we're talking about internet marketing, solely focusing heavily on SEO, search engine optimization, over a couple dozen clients. And it's just night and day difference to what it was before. So now we're literally living that laptop lifestyle. We have the team members in place, we have the management in place. So a lot of it is very hands off. The systems in place, which again we'll get into all that. But we have all the important elements that need to be there in order to be able to now be able to have this conversation with you and not be stressing about our clients or our fulfillment or where's the money going to come from or whatever. It's now we're at a place where we've gone through the struggles and we're having a successful marketing agency, man. So it's crazy how time can make that happen in a matter of a couple of years. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's powerful. You're past the struggle phase. And I think a lot of people should know that everything that you're trying to do, that requires you to change, right? If you're trying to create change in your life, you're going to go through a struggle phase, but that's just a phase. Eventually, there's the phase where everything becomes easier and there's a flow to things and everything just works. And I believe that's where you are today, right, Franky? Right now you have a very, very successful marketing agency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what inspired the whole make it online easy concept, right? Because I noticed there was this huge overwhelm and confusion and just tons of complexity with online marketing, with the online space in general. Again, we're talking like 2013-ish. So we're thinking like it was still a little bit of a wild west a little bit when it comes to like the online marketing space. It was definitely something that I saw a market where people are going to be online. And it really comes down, if we were even to boil it down even more, right? It came down to, of course, impact. A lot of things that people here probably have in common is the financial freedom, or have that freedom, period. Just that word freedom really hits home for me, because I've gone through a lot of struggle, a lot of financial issues, my parents, my family. So it's definitely always been a big mission to get to that point, right? To get that handled, right? Because it's almost like now you can begin to live life. You can now begin to embark on like what life has to offer, and you're not so like with your head down focusing on all these minutia. Now you can actually experience like what all these awesome things that are available to be experienced. And it's been a crazy ride, man. It's been a crazy ride, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I learned a lot.
Powerful, man. Powerful, man. That's awesome. And it's amazing because I met you in a marketing agency. So that's how we came together. We're both working in a marketing agency, and we're both passionate about marketing, and that's pretty cool. I'm very blessed, bro, to have come across you, and you are good people, and you treat your customers well, and you get your customers result, which is a thing that I've always admired and appreciated about you. Because at the end of the day, people, when they do business with anyone, is because of what you can do for them. And when it comes to the marketing space, especially when it comes to SEO, and if you don't know what SEO stands for, that stands for search engine optimization, which is to be able to get a company or a business on the first page of Google, whether it's on the property on maps or organic search on the first page. You want to make sure that if you're a business, that everybody finds you when you're typing a keyword relating to what it is that you do. And Franky, bro, to me, you're one of the top SEO guys. And I feel so blessed to be able to just call you and just pick your brain whenever I have questions about SEO.
So. I appreciate that, man. And the respect is mutual, man. I didn't even know it was going to be internet marketing. Like I said earlier, freedom, right? The keyword for me was freedom. What was that vehicle? I didn't even know. It's not like I woke up saying I want to be an internet marketer, right? It's just kind of like you got to find what that vehicle is. And I found from personal experience, and I think you can agree with this, is that internet marketing is probably one of the lowest barrier to entry, which is a good and a bad thing, right? It's a good thing because, you know, everybody here listening right now, get your marketing chops up, get your skills up, and you can start to, you know, use internet marketing to your advantage. Marketing ain't going nowhere, right? That's going to continue to blow up. However, where's the negative? The negative is, you know, everybody, Bob Joe and his cousin and the grandma and everybody all of a sudden is an expert and a guru and knows how to do all these amazing tactics and strategies on how to make $1 million by clicking a button, filter through and sift through and kind of, you know, pollutes the space that we're in. But it is what it is, man. That's just like anything else, right? So internet marketing, I think, is a wonderful vehicle. It might be real estate for some people. It might be some other stuff. But just from our experience, internet marketing is so much opportunity, potential, avenues you could take, sub niches, like so much involved with it, right? And there's, you don't even know where to start. You almost like kind of get overwhelmed. Like that's honestly like the first couple of years of my journey. Like, yeah, sure, I had the book, but like I said, nothing really came from it in terms of like significant money. Like nothing, I definitely wasn't quitting no job with that money. But you know, I spent the majority of my first couple of years in the whole online space literally just dabbling and shiny object syndrome and bouncing left to right, corner to corner. Like I felt like I tried it all. Like at that point, like email marketing, building funnels, creating lead magnets and upsells and downsells and cross sells and copywriting, like you said. So all these things, and the funny part about that all is like you said, I run an SEO agency. This is a little fun fact. The last thing I even sold video animations, like man, I sold videos, like all this crap, right? None of that moved the needle. None of that was anything significant. Yeah, a couple $100, couple $1,000. What ended up moving the needle was SEO. And what's funny is in my mind, since I tried, at least it felt like I tried everything. When I looked at SEO, it was one of the last things that I ever tried. So I literally spent all this time trying everything else. And I looked at SEO and I'm like, that's a shiny object, man. I've already spent so many hours, so many years literally wasted on all this crap. I gotta focus. I can't get on another shiny object train. And I avoided SEO for like the longest time with this limiting belief in my head, thinking it's making me go backwards. And it was the one thing that changed the game for me. So it's so funny. Like I literally tried everything first, and then I found what actually stuck with me. But the positive of that is now I have that experience from doing all those other things, that at least I'm knowledgeable. It might have not been the most successful, but at least I'm knowledgeable on it. I've read books on it, gone through courses on it. So in a way, it kind of helped. But yeah, there's so much that goes into internet marketing.
Right? Because there's struggle, there's unnecessary struggle, right, Franky?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's years of wasted time, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted. Yeah, you definitely if you could go down that path. We've done it. We've spent countless hours and so much money. It's embarrassing to even mention, but it's part of the journey, right? And that is also part of the whole reason why making online easy. Like we want to simplify this. Want to make this. We've gone through it. Like it doesn't make any sense why for you to go through the same journey if we can at least help you, save a fraction of that in time, in money, and hassle. That's the journey, and the failures too. I want to be able to share with you guys our whole journey and just show what's worked, what hasn't worked, and just be there to guide you guys, right? Crazy like like you have to do it like this. Like, this is just what worked for us. This is just like what's happened. This is the journey. Right now we're talking about like the beginning phase, and I'm sure in other episodes we'll get into more details on more specifics, but we're just the whole goal here is to share like what's worked, what hasn't worked, so you can save the time, money, and hassle for yourself, right? And you don't have to go through that, right? So that's really the end goal here with this. And one more thing, and this is on a more selfish side, but you know what? It's all good because everyone's going to get benefit from it. And this is something that maybe people notice or not, but I've realized this over the years. When you're doing something, you're learning something, you're working on a skill, right? It's one thing to learn about it and read about it and watch videos on it and courses, right? But it's another thing to like speak it and be able to communicate it and logically break things down in your own words, in your own ways, because that shows that you have a deeper understanding of that concept, of that subject. So this is also a way, believe it or not, for myself to just be able to talk about what we love, right? And at the same time, help internalize more of these same concepts that we live every day. right? Like every day, like we're always constantly doing things to improve. Every day you want to be doing something to improve, right? Whatever that is. If you're not growing, you're dying. So, and the way I look at it is like this is a win-win situation where we can share amazing wisdom and tips and experiences, and at the same time, be able to reinforce, our deeper core values, our deeper understandings, which is in turn going to give us better results in our own agency, and with our customers. And so I look at it as a win-win-win all around. Essentially, guys, it's exciting to be able to communicate here with you guys, and we have so much stuff already like cooked up that we're going to be sharing with you to help in every aspect, right? Whether you're just starting, where you don't even know where to begin, maybe you have some experience in marketing, but maybe you haven't had success. Maybe you've had some kind of success, but you want to know how to elevate it to the next level. Like we've talked about, we've worked for and next to some of the biggest names in the marketing world, Frank Kern, and we didn't even mention Grant Cardone, which is another part of that whole. So we have the experience and the results in the case studies to help guide you and at least save you some time, money, hassle. So make sure you check out some of the future stuff that we got. Make sure you click the link. Stay tuned. We want to continue to share some value with you all. And yeah, to all your success out there, guys.